Hi, we're back with a new and exciting season of Youth Xpress, a program produced by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, highlighting issues that affect and matter to the young people of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Imagine being a part of projects that truly matter, from conservation efforts to community development. Something bigger than yourself and rewarding in every way. Imagine being a volunteer. In this new season, we are turning the spotlight on youth in volunteerism. Follow us on this interesting journey across some of our member countries as we dive into the world of volunteerism and learn about its impacts and benefits from our young volunteers.
Volunteering is giving, sharing, standing by others, supporting causes you care about, and creating a better future for everyone. This is why more and more entities support volunteering to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Volunteers make a difference to the lives of many. Join us and become a United Nations volunteer.
You're watching Youth Xpress. In a world that is becoming more and more materialistic, how is volunteerism faring, especially among young people? In this episode, we take you to Antigua and Barbuda in the Department of Youth Affairs to chat with the Director, Dr. Jrucilla Samuel, and Project Development Officer, Carolyn Perry.
Thank you so much for inviting us here today.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Samuel, let's start with you. Volunteerism. How and why is the concept of volunteering important in today's world?
Undoubtedly, volunteerism is a critical aspect of the development of any nation. As a matter of fact, the United Nations Development Program would have described volunteerism as a vehicle that not only helps bridge divides between different groups in communities, but it also guarantees sustainable development through social cohesion. So volunteerism actually unifies individuals from various backgrounds. As one member of our National Youth Volunteer Corps, Makeda Lawrence, would have indicated, volunteerism is an excellent opportunity for young people to stay active and stay out of trouble.
Okay, great. And what is the culture of volunteerism like in Antigua and Barbuda?
In Antigua and Barbuda, we have a strong culture of volunteerism among our youth. And this is identified with the proliferation of voluntary organizations. We have many voluntary organizations of which our young people are a part. Here at the Department of Youth Affairs, we have the National Ambassador Corps. And then island-wide, we have a wide, vast array of groups such as the Rotary, the Kiwanis, Intersect, Youth Arise. We even have the Cadet Corps, and they are attached to the Defense Force of Antigua and Barbuda. So we have a wide array of youth volunteering in Antigua and Barbuda.
That's great to hear. Now, what are some of the ways or programs that you use to get the youth involved?
One program, or I should say one initiative, is a National Youth Week, and that is on our yearly calendar. Now, the National Youth Week usually starts around the same time with International Youth Day, which is August 12th. We have learning about your history of food drives, clothes drive. We also have sports day and beach cleanup and mural painting initiatives at various schools. We also have a literacy program in which many youth ambassadors and even members of the volunteer corps who would share their knowledge or give up their time by educating primary and secondary school students about financial literacy or financial management. So I can go on and on, but I think it would be remiss of me not to mention our inaugural entrepreneurship EDGE program. That program started on February 6th, and we have our young people volunteering their time. They're playing role as photographers. They're sharing their knowledge. They're uploading the content on social media. So we get them engaged in the digital aspect because we know that they like that. And in the process, they're learning about how to become, future businessmen and women, and it also assists them with their academics.
That's a very important point that you just made. And it brings me to this question. Volunteers they give of their time, their expertise, their resources. But is it a one-way street?
That is why we look at it holistically. So we marry the programs with the rewards. Also for the National Youth Ambassador and Volunteer Corps, we assist them to build portfolios, to go out and volunteer in that area where they're able to build networks, while they're assisting and they're also helping themselves.
And if I may just add, some of the areas or the platforms that they have to develop during their 2-year tenure would be entrepreneurship, climate change, male grooming. And as they're doing so, they're collaborating with persons not only on a national level, on a regional level, they're also collaborating with international organizations. And when they partner with these international organizations, they share best practices and they learn from one another, but they also gain fresh ideas and fresh perspectives of how to tackle complex problems.
Great. So as they give, they are actually gaining a lot personally.
Indeed.
We may have some young people who are viewing and have been inspired to, become a volunteer. What steps do they need to take to start?
Well, I think that a good starting point would be to identify your passion, your strength or so. And there are some persons who might want to step out of their comfort zone and try something that might be more challenging. But you can start by thinking about what you're passionate about. Ask yourself, what am I good at? And once you determine what you're good at, you may want to look for an organization that might align with your interests or your passion.
In addition to what Dr. Samuel said, I think not always necessary for you to be a part of a group. You may be a part of a community where you have identified an unmet need. After all, the government is unable to do everything. So it is incumbent upon us as citizens to identify what are the gaps and how can I assist? Just look at it. How can I assist? And when you have come up with that, you can always come to the Department of Youth Affairs and we would guide you along to realizing your dream and to encourage you in your volunteerism.
Great. Dr. Samuel, Ms. Perry, thank you so much for chatting with us as we kick off this series looking at youth in volunteerism. Thank you and all the best.
All the best to you too. Thank you for having us once again.
All the best to you. Thank you for having me on board.
That's a wrap on this episode of Youth Express, where we are exploring youth in volunteerism. In our next program, we're heading to the Commonwealth of Dominica for a glimpse into the life of a 20-year-old volunteer. Be sure to catch our next episode.